And the Trump administration also extending its influence into the biggest city in the country, ordering the corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams to be dismissed. The DOJ says those charges made it harder for him to help the president's mass deportation crackdown. Mayor Adams now looking to move past the investigation as he campaigns for re-election in that city. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves has the latest from New York this morning. Alicia, I'm so curious, how is the mayor responding to the DOJ's order? Is he thankful this morning?
Yeah, good morning, Markie. He's essentially taking a victory lap after the DOJ issued that memo, essentially asking the SDNY, the Southern District of New York, to drop the charges against him. So for now, at least, he's free from these accusations that he took illegal campaign contributions in exchange for kind of selling the mayor's office, if you would. That's essentially what he was being charged with. In a two-page memo released by the Department of Justice, the DOJ essentially says, Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove says the decision was, quote, without assessing the strength of the evidence. Rather, he claimed, as you noted, the case was politically motivated, saying in part, quote, the timing of the charges and more recent public accusations or actions, by the former U.S. attorney responsible for initiating the case have threatened the integrity of the proceedings. It cannot be ignored that Mayor Adams criticized the prior administration's, Biden's, immigration policy before the charges were filed. Now, Bove also noted the dismissal would allow Adams to, quote, devote full attention and resources to combating illegal immigration and violent crimes, an issue, of course, at the top of the Trump administration's agenda. This move, on one hand, surprising because it's a deviation from longstanding federal prosecution kind of norms, but not entirely unexpected given meetings that Adams had with Trump before his inauguration and a recent trip to Washington, D.C.
I thank the Justice Department for its honesty. Now, we can put this cruel episode behind us and focus entirely on the future of our city. It's time to move forward.
Yeah, and so now while Adams is taking that victory lap, it does not come without criticism, especially from some here in New York City who now say he's beholden to the Trump administration. Actually, in a news conference yesterday by the city comptroller essentially said that he is going to be controlled by Donald Trump, and that, of course, being dangerous, according to the comptroller for New York City.
Yeah. And Alicia, do we know what prosecutors in New York are going to do next?
Yeah, so at this point, we know that this really falls in the hands of Danielle Sassoon, a U.S. attorney here at the Southern District of New York. We've reached out for comment to see if she would actually take action, according to the memo. They declined to comment, the Southern District of New York. But the reality is we understand that she has limited power to oppose this order. If she attempts to, she can just simply be replaced at the Department of Justice or by the Department of Justice. Plus, under the terms laid out in the memo, the charges could still be refiled after the November mayoral election. So dismissal of this case, conditional. Both said on Adams agreeing in writing that prosecutors are legally allowed to bring the charges back if they choose. And that means the threat of a renewed prosecution essentially can hang over Adams all of his time in the next couple of months as he's mayor and if he is thus reelected. So unclear when the charges will actually be filed. But that latter part there where this is being dismissed without prejudice, really kind of adding fuel to the fire, if you will, on the claims that Adams is now going to be controlled by the Trump administration, Markie.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge headline. Thanks for getting us up to speed there in New York, Alicia. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.